So with the Sentry making his MCU debut in the upcoming Thunderbolts movie, I thought now was the perfect time to see how well he stacks up against the Invincible War and if he could survive it. Spoiler alert, he absolutely does. Let's talk about it. So how does Robert Bob Reynolds get to the Invincible universe? Well, I kind of imagine it going a little something like this. Bob is minding his own business before being grabbed by Angstrom by accident. Now, being in the middle of the Invincible War with Angstrom expecting him to help the other Mark variants take down Invincible. So, now we have this set up, let's see how all this plays out. With Bob seeing all the death and destruction caused by the other Invincible variants, immediately he would jump in to help the people because at the end of the day, that's all that Sentry really wants to do. And let's be honest here, it's not even a challenge for him since all the Invincible variants are just brute force. They don't think tactically, they don't have any defined actual martial arts techniques whatsoever, with the Sentry being leagues above them all. He possesses the power that's only comparison is 1,000,000 exploding suns. And that's putting it lightly. As if you don't know who the Sentry is, click the link down in the description and read up on him. So when it comes down to fighting the Invincible variants, as long as the Sentry is in control, then they'll live, maybe, depending on how his mood is, really. It wouldn't really matter if every variant went one-on-one or attacked Sentry all at once, because the end result is the same. The Sentry has destroyed the entire moon just to get at an opponent, which he then killed brutally and quickly. So there is no way that any Invincible variant can even hurt him. Even if they do, they'd have to hit him with the strength of the World Breaker Hulk, who was able to completely destroy the entire planet's tectonic plates with a step. So I hate to be the one to tell those Mark variants, but coming face to face with Sentry is a death sentence that they sign themselves. Because Sentry has dominated powerhouses like Thor in the Marvel Universe. So all in all, with Sentry being in the Invincible War, it would only last probably about an hour if he's being hesitant. But if the Sentry gets serious, it's over in under a minute. The Sentry's actions would definitely impact how things are done in the Invincible Universe, mainly by Cecil, who'd probably want Bob on his payroll, and I could actually see Bob signing up with someone like Cecil, but we're getting ahead of ourselves because we still have to deal with Angstrom, who'd almost immediately try to send Sentry away, but this actually wouldn't work, as the Sentry can control and manipulate matter on the molecular level, and can draw energy and drain energy from any source, which basically means he could definitely shut down Angstrom in a second if he really wanted to. Plus, Sentry can just move faster than Angstrom can react or even see or notice, and is more likely going to be turned into a red mist. After that, the rebuilding could probably go a lot faster with the Sentry's help, and honestly, he saves millions of more lives in this version than in canon. But that is until someone comes to play, and then this is going to turn into a very different lineup very, very quickly. With Conquest showing up on Earth to fight Mark, I can see Sentry not immediately stepping in, like how he wanted to wait to fight Hulk until it was absolutely necessary for him to step in. Even if Cecil asked or ordered it, Sentry really wouldn't care. The same would go for with Oliver as well. Nothing would really change Sentry's mind until Conquest started using human beings as speed bumps on his flyby with Invincible. That's when Sentry steps in and completely destroys Conquest. It wouldn't even be a challenge for the Sentry, but Conquest himself would absolutely love it, all the way until Sentry treats him like how he dealt with Ares, the god of war, and the Void, by literally ripping them in half, killing him. For all those wondering if I'm overstating things here, no, I'm not. If anything, I have been underselling the Sentry the entire video. The man has a healing factor and is practically immortal, because even if he is killed, like when he was ripped in half by Null, he will always be resurrected sometime later. He will always come back. And that is not hyperbole, that is a statement. He's overpowered heralds of Galactus. He's even been stated to possess the power to destroy the entire Marvel Universe if he really wanted to. Multiple people say that the Scarlet Witch would be nothing compared to the Sentry whenever she had her episode and rewrote reality, with Emma Frost herself saying that the Sentry is godlike. So keep that in mind when the Void takes control of Sentry and what happens next. So for this next part of the video, this one's kind of up to you guys to decide on whether or not the Void would appear here or not, considering that it's been stated that when the Sentry saves people, the Void will always show up to kill people to balance the scales here. So also don't misunderstand what I'm saying, as the Sentry and the Void are one in the same. It's kind of like Sentry's darker personality taking control. It's kind of like convoluted with how the Sentry deals with the Void most times, but it is his greatest challenge, which is literally just himself. Normally they're one person, but there have been instances where the power of the Void has been separated from the Sentry. But for this instance, it wouldn't be feasible for the Void's power to really get away and separate from Sentry here. If it's taking place in his head, then I could honestly see the Void taking over Sentry here. But if it's just kind of like Sentry projecting his power out and it forming the Void, then that makes a big difference in how this goes down. Basically, if the Void takes control of Sentry here, everybody is dead. Adam Eve is not even going to have the chance to come back, because the Void, as soon as her powers try to revive her, the Void's just going to say, nope, I'm taking that. And Eve is like permadead right there. Mark would end up being a bloodstain on the ground. It's just not going to be pretty. And Oliver is getting, just squished like a bug on a windshield. And after that, nobody on Earth really stands any type of a chance at surviving here. And even into the known universe of Invincible, Alan's not going to survive it, the Coalition's not going to survive it, Space Racer's not, Battle Beast is definitely not going to, but he would definitely enjoy fighting the Void way more than anybody else here would. And he'd probably die with a smile, really. Thrag and every last Viltrumite is just going to get blinked out of existence. It's going to happen so fast they won't know what's happened. And basically, reason I say that is because, like, Sentry, when he's been possessed by the Void, has destroyed the entirety of Asgard. All of Asgard's been destroyed. He's almost like killed Thor on multiple occasions. The Sentry is strong enough to where he can go up and just solo the entire team of Avengers, which included Thor and Hulk, Captain Marvel, some of the most heaviest hitters in the Marvel Universe. Nobody in Invincible really even scales to them or has a prayer against the Avengers. So realistically here, if Sentry can take all those guys out at once, and then you're putting the more bloodthirsty personality in control here, there is no way anybody's surviving. But if the power gets projected out and it's like Sentry versus Void like that, then I could actually see there being a struggle. And some people on Earth would definitely die as collateral damage here. Probably Mark and Oliver would, if they chose to interfere here, would definitely get, killed off. But I don't really see them interfering with this, so it's just probably going to be a lot of innocent civilians until the Sentry can really come back to his senses and defeat the Void personality. So ultimately, it's up to you guys. Does the Void appear? Does Sentry take care of him? Or does the Void appear and like kind of take over the Sentry and just life wipe the entirety of the Invincible universe here? Comment down below. In conclusion, the Sentry cleans up everything, and this outcome is relatively better, unless the void shows up, but that's just my opinion and theory on how things will go. So tell me your thoughts down in the comment section down below, and remember, God is awesome, you guys are too. Have a blessed day. Are they gone? Okay. Alright, hey guys. Yeah, this is Comic Fiend here, and I just wanted to go ahead and give you guys a little bit of like one of my favorite sayings in the entire Bible. It's kind of what helps keep me humble yet motivated at the same time. Because if you're ever battling with depression, just remember, this too shall pass. And if you're like feeling like your head's way too big, then just humble yourself and remember that this too shall pass. Everything good will pass, everything bad will pass. It's all just faith in the Lord our God. But anyways, hope you guys have a blessed day. And just remember, this too shall pass.